In the future, the world has fallen into chaos after humans completely drained the planet's natural resources. The people from the old world are now called Rusties. To restore order, scientists come up with two major solutions: genetically modified orchids that serve as a new energy source and a mandatory surgery that makes everyone pretty. The idea? If everyone is flawless, there will be no more conflict. Until their 16th birthday, teenagers known as Uglies live in dormitories, completely isolated from the main city. Only after undergoing the transformation do they finally join the glittering world of the pretties. Tally and her best friend Paris are both Uglies, but since Paris is a few months older, he gets his surgery first. Tally is never happy with her face structure and she can't wait to be pretty. Tally tells her mirror to show the pretty face of hers. The mirror complies and Tally fascinates her look. Meanwhile, Paris calls her and Tally has saved Paris' number as nose. It is a joke between them because Paris has a large nose, which he intends to get fixed once he is pretty. Paris also jokingly calls Tally Squint, because she would often squint her eyes. Tally and Paris sneaks onto the roof. They sit together on the rooftop, looking out over the dazzling lights of New Pretty Town. The laughter and music from the parties below floated up to them, a promise of the life they would soon have. Paris says to her to not do anything stupid while he is gone. Before he leaves, the two carve matching scars on their hands as a symbol of their bond, promising to stay friends no matter what. The Uglies are now seated, waiting, when suddenly Dr. Cable's face appears on a massive screen. Her voice is cold and commanding as she speaks about the importance of the surgery, reinforcing the idea that becoming pretty is not just a privilege, it's an expectation. Tally is excited for Paris and also sad that she will be alone without him. One by one all names are called. When Paris' name is called, Tally watches as he rises. The auditorium erupts in cheers, and Paris gives Tally a final glance before heading toward his new future. In a flashback, Tally and Paris are kids where they meet for the first time. Tally's parents, one of the pretties, drop her and promises her to meet her when she will be pretty. Tally and Paris grows as friends. They carve their hands with same scar and promise to keep it there even after they are pretty. But after Paris disappears into the world of the pretties, he stops responding to Tally's messages. Tally decides to meet him, but Tally had a trick. She took a heater coil, a gadget she had swiped from the cafeteria, and tucked it under the blankets. The gentle warmth would fool the censors into thinking she was still in bed. She then sneaks out of her room. Tally climbs the bridge and moves under it to not get caught by guards. When she reaches the pretties' town, she sees that there is a mask party going on. She uses the opportunity and wears the mask, which creates a camouflage of her dress. Tally is fascinated by this world. Suddenly Tally spots Paris at the party. He looked different and polished. Tally realizes that his behavior is very cold. His scar is gone and so is the boy she knew. Tally is spotted by security, and the siren blares through the party. Just like that, she is chased by the guards. Tally sprints toward the balcony, the guards right behind her. She has no choice. Taking a deep breath, she leaps off the balcony, plummeting through the night air. She runs toward the bridge and hides underneath it, her breath shallow as she tries to stay unseen. But before she can relax, a security drone spots her, its red light flashing in the darkness. Caught by the authorities, Tally is chased back to the dorms, but a rebellious Ugly named Shay helps her escape. Shay takes Tally on her hoverboard and fly above the river and fields. Finally, they land at the ground. They are happy that they did not get caught. Shay and Tally sneak into the kitchen and party. Shay tells her that all her friends are gone and she feels lonely. Tally also tells her that she can't wait to get pretty. Next day, Shay teaches Tally to ride hoverboard. Finally, Tally learns to drive hoverboard. One day, Shay takes Tally to a ride. They reaches a river and beyond that they are not allowed by authorities. But being a rebel, they both take their hoverboard and reach an old city. Shay introduces Tally to an underground movement known as the Smoke, a secret settlement where people reject the pretty surgery and live freely in nature. Shay is determined to run away and begs Tally to come with her, but Tally refuses. She still wants to be pretty. Before leaving, Shay leaves her a secret coded message with directions to the Smoke. On the day of Tally's surgery, something unexpected happens. Instead of becoming pretty, she is taken to Dr. Cable, the powerful leader of the operations. Dr. Cable asks Tally about Shay, that she has been missing, but Tally says that she don't know anything about it. But Tally realizes that a lie detector can spot her lies. Dr. Cable asks Tally to help them find a man named David. Dr. Cable gives her an ultimatum: find Shay and lead the authorities to the smoke or never become pretty at all. With no other choice, Tally agrees. Tally comes back to her dorm. That night, Paris gives her a surprise visit. Paris insists Tally to tell the authorities about Shay so that she can be with him. Later, Dr. Cable tells Tally that this man named David runs the smoke, and that they are developing a weapon to attack them. Dr. Cable convinces Tally that she is their only hope. Armed with a tracking necklace, she follows Shay's directions and sets out on her mission. Deep in the wilderness, Tally finally finds the smoke and reunites with Shay. Back at the facility, Dr. Cable appreciates Paris for helping them in convincing Tally. She tells Paris that he is ready to become a super soldier. It is shown that Paris undergoes a surgery to become the super soldier. Tally meets Shay at the smoke and Shay's super excited to see her. Shay vouches for Tally that is trustworthy and can be a part of smoke. She also meets David, a kind and resourceful leader who grew up in the smoke. They take Tally to the smoke. She is surprised to see that there are so many people living here and living a normal life. As Tally spends time with the rebels, she learns a shocking truth: the pretty surgery does more than just change appearances. It alters the brain, making people passive and easy to control. Only a select few are given immunity, ensuring the system remains in power. David's parents were scientists who discovered this and fled, dedicating their lives to creating a cure. Tally realizes that the weapon Dr. Cable was referring to was actually the cure that David's parents have been working on. Torn between the world she's always wanted and the truth she's just learned, Tally makes a choice. She throws her tracking necklace into the fire, rejecting the system for good. But it's too late. The tracker activates and Dr. Cable's forces descend on the smoke. In the battle that follows, the rebels fight back, but many are captured, including Shay, who is forced to undergo the surgery. Paris, now a powerful enhanced soldier, is among the attackers and kills David's father. Tally is devastated and feels betrayed by Paris. Shay realizes that it's Tally who brought them here. Shay shouts at Tally that she would never forgive for what she has done to her. In a moment, David's mother slips the cure in David's pocket. Realizing that Dr. Cable will get her hands on the cure, Tally runs to the lab and puts it on fire. David's mother also tells him to run away and come save them later. Devastated but determined, Tally and David launch a rescue mission. Tally comes back to her campus and she asks her fellow students to help them. Tally and David puts a sign in the sky using smoke and fire that the smoke lives. The signs create the distraction and Tally and David sneaks into the facility. Inside, David fights a guard and Tally steals his ring to get access to the facility where prisoners are held. They free the captives, but Shay has already been transformed. The rebels now have the final component for the cure, but there's a problem: Shay, like all pretties, won't willingly take it. Paris and Dr. Cable catches them, while Shay behaves all nice with Dr. Cable. Dr. Cable forcefully put Davis, his mother, and Tally into the procedure tubes. Just as the procedure is about to start, smoke attacks them. The smoke attacks them, Tally takes Shay and run to the roof. But Paris is standing on their way. Shay tries to convince him, but David attacks him, resulting in fight. In the chaos of fight, Paris is thrown off the roof into the river. Later, Tally tries to convince Shay to take the cure, but Shay refuses it. To prove the cure works, Tally makes a bold decision. She volunteers to become pretty, promising she won't let it change who she is. As she says goodbye to David and her friends, she holds on to one last piece of herself, the scar on her hand, a sign that she hasn't forgotten the fight. Now a pretty living in the city, Tally flashes a knowing smile. The battle isn't over yet. Guys, we hope that you liked this recap. Subscribe for more. See you in the next one.